The exchange of fire is continuing to escalate on the Israeli-Lebanon border. In the latest incident, Israel launched an overnight attack deep inside Lebanon. At least one civilian is being killed and 6 others injured in Baalbek. That's 100 kilometres from Israel's border. The same area was attacked last month. Hezbollah and Israel regularly exchange fire, but most of the fighting has been confined to border regions. Well, in what's a likely response for those Israeli airstrikes, Hezbollah has launched a barrage of rockets into Israeli territory. At least 100 rockets were fired from southern Lebanon towards northern Galilee and the occupied Golan Heights. Willem Marx joins us now live from occupied East Jerusalem. So, Willem, some of those rockets were intercepted. Where did others land?
According to the Israeli authorities, they landed primarily in open areas. There were no reports of damage, no reports of injuries, no reports of deaths. But this was in response, as you hinted at, in terms of what happened overnight. We saw the Israeli army releasing a statement saying that they had carried out airstrikes in and around the city of Baalbek, around 70 kilometers north of that border. The governor there saying that there have been 4 deaths and 6 injuries. The Israeli military saying it was focused on a Hezbollah aerial unit, and it's not entirely clear what that entailed. On the ground, sources telling Al Jazeera that's seen a building damaged.
And Willem, if we turn our attention now to southern Israel, to Gaza, Israel is being accused of not respecting the ICJ ruling that was issued several months ago. Just tell us a little bit more about that.
So this was back in late January. The ICJ essentially issued a series of rulings as part of those days-long hearings. The dozen or so Israeli social organizations, let's call them advocacy groups, that have signed this letter have essentially said that the Israelis have failed to follow through on those instructions from the ICJ. They wrote that they're calling for an immediate ceasefire. It must include the return of the people held captive in Gaza. They want the Israeli government to comply with that order immediately and implement the court's provisional measures, which are essential, they say, to mitigating and overcoming the humanitarian catastrophe in Gaza. It's been relatively unusual over the last few months for groups in Israel to take these very public stances against the Israeli government and against Israeli military's operations in Gaza. But this, they say, was an ICJ order, a legal obligation to end the catastrophe in Gaza. It must be abided by, they wrote in this letter, not only to ease the urgent suffering of civilians, but for the sake of humanity as a whole.
OK. Willem Marx bringing us the latest lines there from occupied East Jerusalem. Thanks very much, Willem.